thought this was a cool where I started and where I'm at. This was the second garden tractor I ever purchased. The first one was a 320. This is a 1988 318. Bought it from a gentleman named Ed White down near Kansas City. I was living in Ames, Iowa at the time, about 6 hours away. Drove down to Kansas City. This was non-running. The guy was frustrated. Ed was frustrated with it. Sold it to me for $800. Actually never met him. He pushed it outside of his daughter's garage, and I left a check in the mailbox for him, and I winched this thing in the back of my lifted 2001 F350. A friend and I went down there. We built some 10-foot 2x6 ramps the night before, and drove down there and loaded this machine in with a come along into the back of the truck. And that was quite the adventure. But came home, got it running. It actually was just a couple wiring problems. That's another story. But other than that, it's pretty much the machine that started the whole collection. I sold the 320 once I bought this, and the rest is history. I haven't used it in about 4 years because it's been sitting there in the corner right there. If you've seen it in the background with the hood off, the side panels off, the air filter off. Several years ago, I was mowing. It just started popping and it didn't run right and started blowing black smoke. Basically, come to find out, as I found out this weekend, the valves were extremely tight. In other words, like no gap whatsoever, no valve lash whatsoever. But it runs once again, and really happy with it. Just got it out. The reason I had the 1585 out is I had to get this out so I could wash it because it had been sitting back in the dust for 4 years. Runs just as good as I remember. A couple stupid things that I've done. I did take the original 18 horsepower Onan out of it. That was a good running machine. I bought it with about 850 hours on it. It's now got 900 and about approximately 60. I took the original engine out and put it in a 318 I was selling so I could drop this. This was the first Onan that I ever rebuilt in this machine. And I wanted a 20 horsepower. Why, I don't know, but I did it anyway. And I've actually spent a good amount of time trying to track down that original 318. But the guy since moved, I actually had his address. I went back and dug through some paper. I found his address, found his name again, found his emails, but I can't find, he moved and I can't find where he's at now. And because I would love to contact him to see if he still had that 318 and if I could buy it back or if he knows who bought it. But that's the 318. Other than the engine, I've added the suspension seat. I've added an electric fuel pump, which you don't really need, but that's how I did it. I added the 3-point, and I have also added the 2000 RPM PTO. The 3-point arms are in storage because I was looking for space. Naturally, it has been in there since I bought it, but the light fell out tonight when I got it out. I don't know why. It just did. So, but other than that, it runs great. I would start it up, but I need to tighten up the battery cable. I don't have any tools right out here. But that is pretty much the 318 that started it all. And don't have too much light left. I don't want this video to be too long. But, it's in really good condition, other than I feel really bad for replacing the engine. But all these things need to run before we move. So that's why I was working on it. My cousin and I spent some time this weekend working on it. I just got it cleaned up. But to show you, if you have goals and aspirations and dreams, I started here, and that's where I'm at. I paid $800 for this one, and I paid a whole lot more for that one. But, if you have dreams and aspirations and you work hard and, you don't quit, that's what you get. So, there's a lot of good luck in there involved as well. But at the same time, there's a lot of 60, 80 hours weeks involved in that right there. And I'll tell you what, that's super nice to mow the yard. But there's something a little nostalgic about this. Not that you'd ever want to mow this yard with that machine right there. But, it is what it is. But I figured that would be a kind of cool dichotomy between the two machines of where I started, where I was at. So if you have goals, stick with them. Only takes you, in this case, it's only taken me 11 years between the two. So thanks for watching.